Listen, prior to 2017, I will always have these big, ambitious goals for my life and business, and I would follow all of the expert advice. I would make sure to write down my goals because you're more likely to achieve them. I would create a visually aesthetic vision board that I could always look at, and I would even go as far as tapping into my HR background and making sure that my goals were SMART goals. Despite all of my efforts, I was still getting very dumb results. And then I came across a book that really challenged the way that I looked at my approach as far as achieving my goals. And I learned that instead of focusing on my goals, I needed to create systems instead. In this video, I'm going to break down those principles to help you transform how you approach your goals too. What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. I am Ebony Yvonne, your go-to business operations strategist, here to help you grow your business with people and processes. Today, we are getting into the processes of it all, and I want to show you how you can build business systems to help you achieve the business goals that you want, okay? Now, before I get into how you can actually set systems to support your goals, I want to give you guys a little bit of background context. So, if you are brand new here, you may not know, but if you are A1 Day One, you know your girl has always been about planning and setting goals. Like, that has been my thing, even in my professional world when I was in college. As a kid, I have always been a goal setter. Like, even as a kid, my dad would always have, like, me and my brothers said, like, our short-term goals, our long-term goals, and then we would revisit them from time to time. So the concept of goal setting is something that, I'm very familiar with. But once I got into the world of entrepreneurship and I started setting business goals, I would set these big ambitious goals, like I want to have a 6-figure year, I want to serve 1,000 clients, right? And I would pretty much treat my business goals kind of like a wish list. I would set this goal and kind of set it and forget it and then not even think about it anymore. And then at the end of the year, I look back, I look at my vision board, I look at my journal, and it's like, dang, like I had all these goals and I haven't achieved much of any of these, if any at all, right? And so in 2017, I started reading a book called Atomic Habits by James Clear. A great read. I definitely recommend it. But one of the principles that really stuck out to me in this book was when he talks about, goal setting and your approach to goals. And he breaks down the difference between setting a goal and having a system. If you've ever purchased any of my Notion templates, you probably noticed they are laced with quotes from James Clear. But one of the quotes that has really stuck out with me is a quote where he says, "You don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems." And when I read this truly wrecked my soul. And I was like, really just sitting there. Have you ever just like laid in the bed and you're like staring at the ceiling fan and just like deep thought, like you're not even saying anything, doing anything. You're just like reflecting on what you just read or what you just heard. That was me in that moment because I was like, this is right. Like, I have always set these goals. Sometimes I even have a plan for like how I'm going to achieve my goal, but I never go as far as creating the actual system to kind of make my goals fail proof. So James goes on in Atomic Habits to also explain the difference between a goal and a system. And he explains that a goal is the result or the outcome that you want to achieve, where on the other hand, a system is the process or set of habits that lead to the result that you want. So, in a nutshell, your goal, the destination, the system is the path to your destination, right? So once I had this mindset shift where I was no longer just thinking of my goals in an isolated bubble, but saying like, okay, if I have a goal, I need to have a system to actually achieve that. It really changed how I approach setting goals, not only in my life, but in my business. So For example, let's say that my goal is to get 10 clients in a month. Instead of just saying, I want 10 new clients, I'm going to set that goal, but then I know I also need a system to help me get those new clients. So I would have to create a client acquisition process or system in order to acquire those 10 clients. So even in my personal life, let's say my goal is to lose 20 pounds. Instead of just saying my goal is to lose 20 pounds, I need to set a system that's going to help me achieve that goal. So my system could be me meal planning, making sure I'm not drinking a lot of soda, which shout out to me, I haven't had a soda all month. Well, I've had Zevias, right? I haven't had a real soda. But I haven't been eating a lot of sugar. I haven't been ordering Uber Eats. I've been trying to cook at home, have healthier meals. I've been making sure that I take time to actually get some type of physical activity in, even if it's only 20 minutes a day. And that is pretty much my workout routine and system that's helping me achieve that goal. So, you want to make sure that you have this same approach when it comes to achieving goals within your own business. For every goal that you have, you want to make sure that you have a system in place that can get you to that result that you want. You see, once you set systems, you no longer have to chase clients because you have a client attraction system that brings them to you. You don't have to pray for a good lunch because you have a lunch system that ensures every step is done on time. You don't have to hope for consistent income because you have a marketing system that creates it. Once I built this system of how I plan, market, and execute different activities to achieve goals in my business, it changed everything for me. When I started applying this principle to my business in 2017, that was my first 6-figure year. That was the first time I really started attracting my dream clients that were not headaches I was happy to serve. This is when I really started building the life that I wanted, even just being able to travel more, spend more time with my family, all because I started building these systems to support the life and business that I wanted, right? Baby, let me tell you, once I started applying this principle, the stress was going down and my revenue started going up. And the business lesson that I learned is that when you have systems in place, the results take care of themselves. You don't have to hustle and grind. You don't have to be online 24/7. You don't have to do all the things because the system is in place. The system is there. The only thing you have to do is make sure you stick to the system is working. And if there are problems, you notice anything is off, you tweak the system as you go so that you ensure you get the results that you want. So that is how I am using systems to achieve my business goal and create the life and business that I want. Now, before I end this video, my challenge for you is I want you to think about one goal that you have been struggling with, that it has been a challenge for you to achieve. And I want you to think about one system that you can put in place today that can help you achieve that goal, right? Let me know what that is down in the comments, and I will be here to hold you accountable, okay? Now, other than that, I just want to say thank you guys so much for stopping by my internet home. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and turn on notifications so anytime I post another video like this, you'll be the first one to get notified. Bye, y'all.